Okay, guys, welcome back again to the IEEE channel for Benuski. And today we want to do a little bit of IEEE basics. Okay, so what I have in front of you, move my screen here. Okay, so what I have in front of you is an actual IEEE report that was created for an actual college, the City College of New York. That's CUNY in New York, of course. And this happened to be one for educational robotics, but this was actually submitted and actually did well in a conference. So it's a good example of one that is real life. Now, I want to start out with a caveat, and that is, of course, that IEEE is used by multiple different engineering type. We have electrical, we have robotics, we have computer. And some of you, again, will go into your career and find that your particular employer likes APA or some other format too. But IEEE, you'll see it in a couple of minor variations. And that might be because of preferences from your career. It might be preferences for a particular conference or a particular publication. So you will see some variations, but they are fairly minor. So the one we're looking at here is a real world one, but keep in mind you might see some slight differences. All right, now I want to show you what the basics of it look like. Okay, so if you're thinking about APA or MLA, which you've probably used in the past, there are some similarities but some differences too. So this is a double column one. You will also see some single column IEEE reports. Most often when we start getting into the professional arena, we're going to see double columns. So I'll encourage you guys to move that way as well as we move through the semester. But this is your basic stuff at the top, right? So you can see that the heading goes across both pages, or both columns, okay? Name, what basic information, that looks similar to APA. Then we start with an abstract, right? So we've got an abstract here at the top, and you can see that that is, in this case, bolded. The abstract, the idea of it is that when you read that paragraph, sometimes two paragraphs, I know exactly what's in the paper. And it's fantastic because that means that I don't actually have to start reading a particular source or paper to find out if it's, exactly what I need, or go by this title, which sometimes is a great way to figure that out. Sometimes it's not. So this abstract means I can quickly see what's in this report, what's in this memo, what's in this feasibility thing, before I start to really delve into the entire thing, which, as you can see in this case is only 4 pages long, but some of these things are, go for 50 or 60 pages. The next thing after the abstract here, you can see that there's a little section for keywords, and that looks similar to APA. And again, the keywords are actually intended for the librarian or the person who is filing this particular report in a database of some kind. They may not have any idea about educational robotics, so they may need some keywords like, what do I file this under in the database so that people can find it? In this case, they've chosen player stage, surveyor, SRV1, scribbler. Those are basic stuff that if I were searching about this, this educational robotics, I might be searching for educational robotics, but I might search under some other term, right? Notice they also use the word Brooklyn College here. They include that as well because that particular student was from there, and somebody might be just saying, typing in, I wonder what people at Brooklyn College have done with robotics. Oh, look at that, right? All right, so the next thing you're going to see that's really different about IEEE is these headings. Notice that they have Roman numerals. You'll see sometimes that this person has them in all caps. Sometimes you'll see them not in all caps. But the headings really set the paper apart, and that makes it really skimmable. And skimmable and concise are really important to IEEE. We have sections usually of a research project, or sections of my reporting about something that I've created. So we want to really think about organization extremely carefully here. And actually, I don't have this up here, but really easy. Let's say I don't know my Roman numerals, And so I need to know, what are the Roman numerals, because I've totally forgotten. Well, hey, your handy dandy Google is gonna pull it up for you fairly easily, right? So again, here you go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are the Roman numerals. If you never learned them in grade school, really easy to figure out what they are. 4 looks like this, 6 looks like this. If you happen to get to a section 18, which you probably aren't gonna, that looks like this, okay? Really easy to figure out Roman numerals, even if you don't really know. But so that's what these are, 1, 2, 3, okay, sorry. So those are your basic component headings. Now, I want to point out that it's kind of like an outline. So if you remember doing an outline, if you don't, again, go over to Google and type in formal outline. What is a formal outline? Well, you're going to find a formal outline form in multiple different places, right? Take a look at what one looks like. What does a formal outline sample look like? Well, we have, 1 and so on. But then once you have a section that is a fairly complex section, perhaps, like this introduction, sometimes introductions are simple. This one happens to have 2 different components in the introduction. One is the background information, and then the second part is the thesis statement. Okay, so look it up if you need to know, how do I do an outline form? It's kind of the same thing here. So you can see under 3, section number 3, it's a complex section, so I have also split this section into further components, right? So we have an A, about the surveyor SRB number 1. I have a B, inheriting from player's driver class, and so on. Okay, so now, so that's still, all this is still within section 3, surveyor plug-in driver for player, right? So if that were important or interesting to me, that would make sense. C, and then again down here we've gone to section number 4, right? So those are the major components of an outline form, and that's what we follow in IEEE. We've talked about graphics and charts in a different video. So we're going to talk about citations in a different video, tables, charts, and all those good things. But these are your basic components of how it's different. The other thing is this end piece, which is your references section, and I will talk about that in a separate video too. But again, it's all the way at the bottom. It's called references, and these sources are in order by number, in the order in which I've encountered them, not in alphabetical order like they are in some other formats. Okay, so that's all for the basic format. See you later.